From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power Radio. Tune in and power out.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Thinking and I feel like I have no clue. Singing the moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Singing and in a choma sana. Sometimes do not sana. Sometimes I act too cool. Singing and you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self-sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia. Mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue. Sometimes
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Hello, 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 hello. It is Wednesday. The week is halfway gone, just like that. And me, when I tell you, I am ready to wrap this week, I'm not even joking. This is Power Radio. My name is Muthoni Gitau, and you are listening to She Talks. And I don't know, there's just something in the atmosphere. Me, I'm still blaming the weather. I feel like the weather coming and going, not deciding what it wants. It's really messing me up because when I tell you I'm sleepy. It's only 11 a.m. and I'm ready to wrap up my day and be like, you know what? We tried, guys. We try again tomorrow. But you know what? Capitalism would not allow it. Welcome to yet another show. Today we have a jam-packed program ahead. Okay, jam-packed inasoni kama kuna vitu nyingi, but it's the usual. We're going to talk about a couple of interesting things, and then we are going to get into a topic that I am curious to talk about, and that is teen pregnancies and red flags. And I know you're asking yourself, now you see I've even said red flags, red cards. Red flags zimetuonyesha maneno mpaka tunazirusha kwenye haziko. Red cards and teen pregnancies, and we're going to talk about that in the second half of the show. But for now, to start us off, that was Consistency by MDQ, or Muthoni Drama Queen. And before that, we were listening to Nikita Kering with Doja. And I really like the sound of that particular song because it's quite different from her other songs. It's still very slow paced, but it has a clubby vibe. It has we're shaking our things and, whatever our mama gave us. If that is our hair, if that's our hips or our hands, we're shaking something. But for now, let's listen to Hawayawezi by Wanavokali.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. So fresh is on the beat.
Mbona do you have to be this way? Unajitoa from all the promises we made. You wanna blow up all the loving that we gave. Listening to he said and the she said. Uongo za mjini zimenoka. Niamini na kupenda ni wewe tu. Wakusema watasema, usiku watalala. Hawataweza kukupenda vile ninavyokupenda. Amini hata dunia itashindwa na cha kusema. Na wakisema ni mapema kupenda tunavyopendana. Tutaishi kama Romeo na Julia kwa sinema. Baby, achana na usiwasikize hao. Baby, achana na usiwasikize hao.
The city's full of haters, full of players. Wakutupiga sana, all they wanna break us. Usiwasikize how. Oh baby, achana now. Cause when we say ni forever, ni vow tunaweka. Mimi na wewe tu. Let us go down in history. Niamini na kupenda ni wewe tu. Wakusema watasema, usiku watalala. Hawataweza kukupenda vile ninavyokupenda. Amini hata dunia itashindwa na cha kusema. Na wakisema ni mapema kupenda tunavyopendana. Tutaishi kama Romeo na Julia kwa sinema. Baby, achana na usiwasikize hao. Baby, achana na usiwasikize hao.
wakuache na maswali bila jibu. City boy, wanna break your heart. City girl, just wanna have fun. Love you, then leave you. Wakuache na maswali bila jibu. Yeah. City boy, wanna break your heart. City girl, just wanna have fun. Love you, then leave you. Wakuache na maswali bila jibu. City boy, wanna break your heart. City girl, just wanna have fun. Love you, then leave you. Wakuache na maswali bila jibu.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Wanavokali, and yeah, I butchered the name of the song for some reason. This is Dope Women Doing Dope-ish. That's a segment we are just getting into. And today I want to talk about someone that I admire so much. This woman, I feel like she's really changed the face and the game of how to reach people when it comes to podcasting. I think she's a pioneer in that field. I think by now you probably already know who I'm talking about. Her name is Adele Onyango, and I wanted to just give her flowers today because, one, I have had the pleasure of working with Adele, and I've also had the pleasure of learning under Adele. And I love the fact that Adele is not, those guys who keep information to themselves and they say, hey, this is my space. I don't want anyone else here. No, Adele shares. Adele shares all the info she has because she wants to share the spaces she's in with more people, and she wants to create room for more women to be in those spaces. And that is such a beautiful and commendable thing, because we live in a society where people are very individualistic, that we don't want to share the spaces. We don't want to share the space on the table because we always go like, they can only allow one of us to sit at this table. So I'm not going to help anyone else to come close enough to the table. But Adele is like, let's throw the whole table away and then just build a table for ourselves. And I love that, because one of the things that you see when you go to Adele's website, you can actually check it out. It's AdeleOnyango.com. The first thing you see, it's a statement that I really, really love. And it's something that she exemplifies in the way that she lives her life, in the way that she does her work. And it says, understand that in trying to be like the world, we cannot be African. But in being African, we can change the world. And like, why is the lie? Because there's no lie in that. I believe that as well, that we shouldn't try to be like everyone else, because our uniqueness is what we have going for us. The things that stand out about us as a people is what we have going for us. So if we try to become everyone else, we are throwing away that thing that makes us stand out, that thing that makes us us, that uniqueness that we carry with ourselves from our experiences, from the places we live. Because someone who lives in Nairobi has a completely different life experience compared to someone who lives, say, in London. And we don't want to throw away what it means, what our culture means to us, what our Africanness means to us, and by extension, what our Kenyanness means to us, just to try and conform to what the world expects from us. If you are living under a rock, or this is your first time hearing about Adele, let me just tell you a little bit about her in her own words. She's a Kenyan media personality. She is also the founder of Legally Clueless Africa, which is an amazing, amazing podcast, as well as a platform that brings people together. And she's also the founder of the Adele Onyango Initiative. She has gained international recognition for her efforts to empower African women and youth, and has been celebrated as one of Facebook's 2019 Icons of Change, Africa Youth Awards 100 Most Influential Young Africans for 2019, OK Africa's 100 Extraordinary African Women for 2018, and BBC's 100 Inspirational and Innovative Women in the World for 2017. So let's not be those people who wait for people to get their flowers outside so that we can see their greatness. We have greatness surrounding us every single day. And yeah, this is us giving Adele her flowers. Thank you, Adele, for the work that you're doing, for the spaces that you create, and for sharing the information that you have garnered over the years, because you've gained this via experience. People were not teaching you. You've had to learn this the hard way. And I am grateful that you are paving the way where you don't want us to learn the hard way. You're like, no, I've learned this and I'm willing to share that. So dope women doing dope-ish goes to Adele Onyango today.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Here is Mali Safi.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Mali safi, mali fine, mali gafi, mali yote yangu. Mali safi, kijana fine wine, maridadi, mali yote yangu. Abebo yawa, iber sana yawa, abebo yawa, inkanye yawa. Mapenzi mekita ni moto, mapenzi ni kama sijawahi pendwa hivi before. Mpenzi chakibula kanyoro ni mora, bimeda kendo herani oroma, woi silwal kakihera ilomba, makuma ya nyasa chana waroga. Mali safi, mali fine, mali gafi, mali yote yangu. Mali safi, kijana fine wine, maridadi, mali yote yangu. Abebo yawa, iber sana yawa, abebo yawa, inkanye yawa.
Kila yukachiena atingo pada tutodongi perna ikaona mbaya ye sulwerina sami moko misuma kosotigo minale nungono ematera peru maduoka pari karilo sosukari. My love manya chane noka no vela adunyo miela chaloriwa ko mali safi mali fine mali gafi mali yote yangu. Mali safi katoto fine wine maridadi mali yote yangu. Abebo yawa, iber sana yawa, abebo yawa, inkanye yawa. Mama na
era nikende maloma inimi kaonge mana natina ewe kakawinjo bemora niti mona ichunya emomora wididonge ukichunya ana ediera mama mirinda chunya wididonge ukichunya ana ediera mama mirinda chunya. What can I do for you, girl, to be worthy of love? 'Cause you're so special to me. Without you, girl, I can't breathe. Chabini surubuta mama, mtima kama Mondi kwa kama Mondi nyoda
Mali fine, mali gafi, mali yote yangu. Mali safi, kijana fine wine, maridadi, mali yote yangu. Abebo yawa, iber sana yawa, abebo yawa, inkanye yawa.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Ni kama naelewa lakini sielewi. Dunia nzima uliona mimi ndio mshenzi.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
That was Polaris with Tufanye, which I think is what our government asks us all the freaking time. Anytime we bring an issue up, it's like they look at us and they go like, Tufanye. Which brings me into the first part of in the threads today. And it's a street that I saw by the Standard. And apparently the members of parliament have padded their remuneration by 2 billion Kenya shillings, apparently, to cushion themselves against the new wave of President William Ruto's taxes, such as the housing levy. And the thing that I find interesting about this, it's like they will ask us as Kenyans when we're like, we don't want this thing, do something. And they go like, tufanye. And then for themselves, they actually go and do something to make sure that if the changes happen, they won't affect them that much. Because let me tell you, wewe unapadiwa na nani, who's going to cushion you as a Kenyan? Because as it stands, the price of food has gone up, the price of fuel has gone up. No one is cushioning you. The price of everything has gone up, but your salo is still where it's at. The price of the dollar has gone up. So a lot of things that are imported, we buy them by the dollar. That price has gone up. Your salo stays the same. The gigs are less to come by. It's like they're very far in between. And then you look at your MPs and you're like, yo, help us. We don't want this thing. And then they go vote against what you want. And then come do a whole press conference and ask you, tufanye? Mnataka nidu? And I think it's a really sad state of things because you don't get, there's no one you get to go ask what you will do. You're the only person who can figure that out for yourself. But these guys, they're the people you've put in place. They were elected into these offices to make sure that the lives of Kenyans are easier. But instead, what they do is like the moment there's like tough economic times, the first thing they do is like, oh, we need cushioning, guys, we need cushioning. Let's add more money. Same people who came and said, we found nothing in these coffers. They were empty. But you guys are taking trips. You guys are finding 2 billion shillings to cushion yourselves against things that you are putting on us without our request, without our consent. Because literally, Kenyans have said no to this housing levy on multiple occasions. But you all still go ahead and push for it. You still go ahead and champion it when you know it's against the will of the people, right? And then to safeguard yourselves, because now the reason people are saying no is that same salo that we're complaining hasn't moved for ages. Now you want another portion of that to be taken out so that you can do whatever this nonsense it is that you want to do. Because the funniest part about this, for me, the understanding that I have of this housing levy thing is that you want Kenyans to contribute to build houses and then buy those houses. Make it make sense. Because if say I join a chama, because this is like one of the closest maybe things that I can use for this. If I join a chama where we are contributing towards buying land, we will contribute, then we'll take that money and buy the land, and now we own the land. We won't contribute money, buy the land, and then now buy the land again, like have to pay for the land again. Does that make sense? So it doesn't make sense when you tell people that you are going to forcefully get them to contribute towards the building of these houses, and then now later on come and buy them. With what money? We already gave you the money that we would have been putting aside to buy ourselves houses in the first place. So I feel like one thing for me, this housing levy thing is in very, very bad faith. And it sucks that the people who should be advocating for what Kenyans want are just busy over here trying to figure out ways to cushion themselves. And the reactions to this news online go like this. One person says, who will protect the hustlers? Uhuru Kenyatta used to have subsidies to protect the hustlers. Now we have a hustler government who are protecting the MPs against the KK government punitive taxes. The MP is going to bed with the executive. Then there's someone who also said, this is why they are not ashamed to question arbitrary tax increases that bring untold economic suffering, misery, and anguish to majority of Kenyans. They can easily increase their salaries by a simple vote as hustlers continue to suffer under the shackles of those said high taxes. Hey. Someone said that's why salaries shouldn't be handled by MPs, and I completely agree. Also, I'm like, there's no institution that would hire you where you come and decide your salaries. You literally sit down and vote. You will never vote against it. Imagine a jobo. Imagine you're running your own company, and in this company, your employees get to come sit down and decide how much they should be paid, and they get to vote amongst themselves, and you can't say no to it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. It should be, I think we need to, the one problem we have as a nation is that, and I think it's a conversation that happened on the Power Breakfast a couple of days ago, where they were talking about the voice, not having a voice as a people. The country, we're told, oh, do public participation, but then even when you public participate and say no, these people just come and override you and say, oh, well, too bad, we're still going ahead with it. So what's the point of the public participation? Also, it has come to a state where public participation is viewed more like a formality. It's like, we'll just do it because we have to, but we don't really care for your input. So whatever, we'll still go ahead with what we want. What are your thoughts? Because 2 billion is a lot of money. And also, this is coming in the wake where we have interns who are not being placed in the medical field, and they're coming out of school. They have nowhere to go. We are offering these people who are already some of the highest paid. Kenyan MPs are some of the highest paid government workers in the world. They are paid higher than people who provide the same services in first world countries, if we can use that. I hate those terms, but governments, or let's say countries rather, that are doing way better than us economically, pay their people a lot less. Us, we're doing so badly, but we give these people so much money. For what? To go sit down to decide to give themselves even more money? Does that make sense? I'm like, this housing levy that they're really, really trying to shove down our throats, who is it supposed to benefit in the end? Because the more they talk about it, the more they keep pushing, the more it sounds like it's not really about the people. There's like specific people who are looking to win in the end, and it's not the citizens. It is definitely not the citizens. We are going to listen to Pogna Matin by Fena and Okelo Max as you ponder on that.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Hey, unakam, niko na visa, niko kwa simu na nasikia bashi meshika. Je, kuna madem, kuna maniga, maodine wamekuja kuchachisha. Sitaki picha kubabae, sitaki vita, nashikisha na mavela mabichwa, na tukishikwa jo mabel Mona Lisa. Tutoke BND, twende BNB, niko DND, usijam, I will be RB, I will be RB.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya vile inafaa. Pogna Matin. lala jumi niko na mado wenye vipindi na musonge kando esima tu sama boso chopo chololo chololo. Nobody can party like we do. Omoke girumba kokwarawe blues. Kinena kalingi kipani ya sim. Meditation yaka bed ni soya design bololo. Anebo che bololo. So please no no no. Okadwa jo machendo oh. Oh bololo. Anebo che bololo. So please no no no. Okadwa jo machendo oh. Mi hadara decisions kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya
miadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana zimelimbu Maximus
Ognamatin
hey and na 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 Kodong yeah Kodong Nico DND
Mutoto ya Pamela.
I'll be right back. Tell him I'll be woo.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Fena and Okelomax. And I was just talking to my producer right now and I was telling him how I am enjoying the evolution of Kenyan music or the new sound that we're producing. And the thing that I really enjoy is the mainstreaming of our ethnic languages in popular music. I'm like, I don't know what Pognamatin means, but I'm here vibing. I don't care what it means. It could mean whatever. But the vibe is vibing, right? And I was saying, I've noticed that the people who've really taken this up, I've seen a lot of there's Kikuyu music that's like very R&B-ish. We've seen I've seen Kamba, I have seen Luo and a bit of Luya. And I'm like, I was just saying, I want to hear a Kale R&B song. You know, or like what's it, Tataveta? Like, what's the name of the language? It's called Kitaveta or Kitaita. Oh, Kitaita. I want to listen. I want to hear someone rapping in Kitaita. You know, like, I think it would be such a good vibe. We are continuing with in the threads and Kenyans, and our coping mechanism that is considered to be, like, we're hilarious. When we're, like, if you want Kenyans to make you laugh, just make them go through some shit. Make them go through something and they will make you have a good time. You will have a good laugh. This past week, it's actually this week we're in, by the way, a popular Kenyan podcast hosted a Kenyan influencer and they were talking money. And in that conversation, there was a lot of stuff that was said. But the things that Kenyans were stuck on was, it was two things. One, there was this conversation about Kenyans now need to start signing NDAs before you have conversations with them, because you first have to confirm if someone will be at a podcast somewhere, and then suddenly the things you share with them become the topic of conversation on said podcasts. And someone was saying we have too many podcasts in Kenya, so before you start having a conversation with someone, the first question you should ask them is like, are you considering starting a podcast soon? Do you have a podcast? Do you plan on being on a podcast? Because you'll be over there pouring your heart out to someone, and then they go sit in a podcast, and the first thing they do, they're like, Kwanza mimi, I hate these friends who, blah, 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 blah. And then kidogo, you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, that is me. I am the one being discussed. So the conversation was actually the interesting question that I saw. I know people touched on a couple of things online, but there was one question that stood out to me. It's like, why are you poor? And I was just like, well, Where do I start? Where do I start? And the thing that I picked up on for about this particular conversation was that I think there's this conversation around privilege that people don't like having, and it's that thing. There's this statement that people say, when you're sitting in your privilege, it's very hard for you to understand or see where someone else is coming from. So when one of the influencers in this podcast was talking about how like she gets pissed off that people are having her drinks and asking her for a lift, and I was just like, where sasa mimi na venye whenever I'm around my friends, the first thing I ask when we go somewhere is like, what time are you planning to leave and where are you going after this, because I want to see if by any chance I can grab a lift. Me by then I'm the one for grabbing a lift. Mimi ndio hao ningeenda kudiscussiwa kwa podcast after kuomba lift huku. Kumbe, I didn't know we are asking people this much when we're like, hey, by this, because you're going in the same direction, so you drop me off at a certain spot. And it's very sad when someone decides to like use something like that against you, because especially for this particular conversation, this person is someone who talks about finances. So if I am around someone who I consider to be my friend, and I know my friend is driving, and I know my friend is going, let me give a specific example. I have friends who, well, they moved, so we all moved, so I can discuss the areas. So my friends were living along Limuru Road, and they would go past Raka, and I was living in Limuru. So whenever we'd be somewhere together, like, even they didn't, like, I didn't even have to ask. Even when it was time to go home, they'd be like, "Ah, we're 20 home," because they knew that dropping me off at Raka, it lessens the amount of money I have to spend in my transport on my way home. It was actually, I would spend half the amount of money that I would need to spend on my way home, because then what would happen is I'd call my cab guy to pick me up at Raka, and then they live just beyond that. So they're not spending any extra money having me in the car. They're not using a different route. It's the same way they're going home. The thing is, they'll just drop me and it saves me money. So I was thinking, like, as someone who advises people on finances, that you would understand why someone would be like, hey, I'm in the same space as so and so, we live close to each other in a way, or in the same area, or they're on the way home. So if they give me a lift, I get to save some money. But then I was like, hey, it is kumbe, you are just over here annoying people. To my friends, me by then, I'll still ask for that lift. I'm sorry, until I buy my own car. If we're going in the same direction, imagine utanipea your lift. Me nitaomba tu. Afadhali you say no, but I'll still ask. Because there's times where even like we'd call each other when we know we're going to the same events, and they'd be like, hey, are you coming? I'd ask, hey, are you coming from home? Ama, inaweza kuwa like if we're doing an evening event or something like that, I'd be like, okay, cool. See, then we patana Rwaka, we go together. As in, as friends, we want to help each other out. We want to put each other on. If you're helping me save money, why is that such a, like, why does that make you feel bad? Especially as someone who talks finances. And the other question, which was something that happened, I think 2-3 weeks before, there was this conversation about influencers giving people financial advice. And the conversation was around, like, why are we taking financial advice from influencers? And there's, to an extent, I get the whole, this is the niche that I've carved out for myself, and I talk finances. So I like to, help people, give them advice and ABC. But again, it goes back to that, the thing about privilege. Are you only speaking from a point of privilege? Because I remember there was a conversation about an influencer who went on yet another podcast that is about finances. And when they were asked about, like, going through hard times, they were like, oh, I've never been broke. And I was just like, where? Must be nice. Must be nice. Because if you don't know and I'm not saying that they can't give advice. Maybe they can. But also I think it's important to recognize your point of privilege when you're having certain conversations. Because if I ask you, oh, how do you navigate days where you don't have money, and your answer is, oh, I just ask my parents, you see, that doesn't help me, because me, I can't ask my parents. My parents also don't have, if anything, my parents are waiting for me to send them money. So maybe, yeah, I get, we have things about like, yeah, are you the target audience or not? There's things like that. But it was quite hilarious. And I like the way Kenyans talked about it because also it forces you to ask yourself certain questions. And the content we're consuming, because personally, there's content I don't consume. There's places where for me, if I'm looking for money advice, there's specific people I would rather listen to because I feel like they're better placed to advise me as opposed to like maybe just an influencer. Because also like your life story changias to your biases around certain things, right? So some Kenyans had things to say online, and it has become a whole conversation because this influencer is also, I think, has partnered with a firm to give some classes that are very highly priced. Especially, I think they're highly priced given the fact that they are virtual. They're not like in-person classes and such. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think we go back to that statement, loyalties to the bag. If this is how this person has decided, this is how they make money, I'm not going to knock it down. Like we're all trying to secure the bag, and then they found a way that works for them, which is I'm going to give classes on finances, I'm going to do this, and that works for them. So, hey, Mimi, am I signing up? No. But if someone else sees value, because I think it comes down to what value are you giving? If someone else looks at that and they see value in it, who am I to knock it down? You know, that's just the question. But Mimi, by the bado nitaomba lift. Until I buy my own car, I'm still going to ask for that lift. I'm still, mutakasirika, you'll go discuss me in the podcast, and then I'll still ask you next time when we're together. If you decide to do so. Because, hey, loyalties to the bag, man. We're all trying to secure the bag. Today, that was in the threads. Let's spotlight an artist because it's Wednesday, and if you've not noticed, on Wednesdays I like to spotlight women doing dope things. And we spotlighted Adele as, you know, dope woman doing dope-ish. And now we are going to spotlight a Kenyan artist. And I discovered her this morning, by the way. Her name is Emmy Muthiga. And she's been doing music for a couple of years, which was interesting because I've actually never had a single song from her until this morning. I went searching for another artist, and then she was a suggested artist below that. So we're going to play a couple of songs by Emmy Muthiga. The first one is Kimbiza. And then after that, we're going to play Memory Lane and December Lover to close off this hour. And then she's also going to start us off in the next hour. So I would like you to meet an artist named Emmy Muthiga. Here is Kimbiza.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Temptations in our eyes, it's got me falling, I cannot deny. Sometimes I look in your eyes, na shida zote zenye zitarise, and I'm so surprised, I'm falling, every day I'm calling, can't you see I'm all in, can't you see I'm all in, I'm surprised, I'm falling, every day I'm calling, can't you see I'm all in, ooh, not cool. Nashinda niki ku kimbiza, vile nina ku kimbiza. Nashinda niki ku kimbiza, vile nina. I'm falling, every day I'm calling. Can't you see I'm all in? I'm all in, ooh. I'm falling, every day I'm calling. Can't you see I'm all in, ooh. Tension nishafika high. Juni me try stingo zote walai. Sometimes I know if I fight, I might lose it. Yeah, I might lose it, yeah. This time you're the one to say I'm not gonna lead the way. I don't wanna hesitate, wanna hesitate. This time you're the one to say I'm not gonna lead the way. I don't wanna hesitate, wanna hesitate. Kimbiza, nashinda niki ku kimbiza, vile nina ku kimbiza, nashinda niki ku kimbiza, vile nina. I'm falling, every day I'm calling, can't you see I'm all in, I'm all in, ooh, I'm falling, every day I'm calling, can't you see I'm all in, ooh. This time you're the one to say, lead the way, or say hesitate, yeah. This time you're the one to say, lead the way, or say hesitate. Vilena kimbiza, nashinda nikikukimbiza. Vilena kukimbiza, nashinda nikikukimbiza. Vilena kimbiza, nashinda nikikukimbiza. Vilena kukimbiza, nashinda nikikukimbiza. Vilena, I'm falling every day. I'm calling. Can't you see I'm all in? I'm all in. Oh, I'm falling every day. I'm calling. Can't you see I'm all in?
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Kupenda kwangu si makosa, ni penzi lako ninaota, na bado hata siamini. Penzi letu liko siri, niko deep kama feelings, siko high kama ceiling. Everything I did, you know I did for the better. Everything I said, you know I said for the better. But then you bring me now and I'm feeling you, 'cause you gave me love when I needed you. I know the feeling too. We did what we had to do. Can we take it down memory lane, just me and you? Can we get it up in the same way like we do? You could be here inside it. You got me here excited. You could be here inside it. Give me your love, don't fight it. I can't give you anything you want, what you want, nigga. I can't give you anything you want, what you want, nigga. I can't give you anything you want, what you want, nigga. Inside it, give me your love, don't fight it. And you know when I want it, I'ma get it on top. And you know when I feel it, I'ma get it on knock. Usingoje kesho ni mbali, usiwashe moto kama huli ndani, usipige simu kama hunijali. Sema uko wapi, baby, you should be on the way. And I know the song I want you to play. Then you bring me now and I'm feeling you, 'cause you gave me love when I needed you. I know the feeling too. We did what we had to do. Can we take it down memory lane, just me and you? Can we get it up in the same way like we do? You could be here inside it. You got me here excited. You could be here inside it. Give me your love, don't fight it. I can't give you anything you want, what you want, nigga. I can't give you anything you want, what you want, nigga. I can't give you anything you want, what you want, nigga. Inside it, give me your love, don't fight it.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
You could be my teddy bear, you could be my daddy on the low, giving it to me slow, you know I want it. And if it's right for you, baby, oh, don't you stop it. I'm lost in the moment, you can take your time. Feeling you all around me, I won't tonight. Can we be 2 by 2? Wanna show you my true sexual feeling. You can be my sexual healing. 'Cause you're someone that's good to me, boy. And you're something that's good for me, boy. I can give you my number, I just wanna eat your banana. I can be your December lover, lover, December lover. I could be the toy, I could give you full control. I'll do whatever you like. Love when you talk to me nice. Look at me up and down, my baby. I feel the motion, flood like the ocean. I wanna be the one that treats you right. 'Cause you're someone that's good to me, boy. And you're something that's good for me, boy. I can give you my number, I just wanna eat your banana. I can be a December lover, lover, December lover. I can give you my number. 'Cause you're something that's good for me. I can give you my number. Boy, you're someone that's good to me. I can give you my number, I just wanna eat your banana. I can be a December lover, lover, December lover. I can give you my number. I can give you my number.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Only fan, you could be my only man. Boy, to me, you're my sweet medicine. And for you, I would do anything. Won't you say my name, say my name? I promise you it won't be the same. I want us to hit it right, get you out of your suit and tie. I see it all in my mind, the better part of the night. Mimi na wewe sitaki kupiga kelele. Baby pole pole, usifanye mimi nichoke. Ngoja bro, ongeza hiyo pesa, need it more. Go in the zone, if you wet our song, we can get this on. You can do nothing wrong, you know I got this extra love. You and me up till morning, you know I like to see you going. Giving everything I need, yeah. Boy, to me, you're my sweet medicine. And for you, I would do anything. Won't you say my name, say my name? I promise you it won't be the same. I wanna be the only fan for you, the only man I do. You can put me on camera too. Take me high, bring me low. Teach me everything I know. You cannot deny you want me close. Go in the zone, if you wet our song, we can get this on. You can do nothing wrong, you know I got this extra love. You and me up till morning, you know I like to see you going. Giving everything I need, yeah. 'Cause to me, you're my sweet medicine. And for you, I would do anything. Won't you say my name, say my name? I promise you it won't be the same. I know you're not ready for me, ready to love me, but you keep it steady on me, steady above me. I could be your only fan, you could be my only man. I say this in advance, we can make it last. I know you're not ready for me, ready to love me, but you keep it steady on me, steady above me. I could be your only fan, you could be my only man. I'll say this in advance, we can make it last. You could be my one and only, yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power up.
That was Fan Only by Emmy Mudega. And as I said, that was the artist we were spotlighting today. Welcome to the second hour of the show. And in this hour, we are going to be tackling a very specific topic. And I had sort of mentioned what it was about earlier on. And we are going to be talking red cards and teen pregnancies. And I know you're asking yourself, what do red cards have to do with teenage pregnancies in Kenya? And that was the same exact question I asked myself when I saw a specific headline. And this is what the headline said. It said that KHRC, which is the Kenyan Human Rights Commission, flags 20 counties, or rather they gave 20 governors red cards because of high rates of teenage pregnancies in their specific counties. And I remember asking myself, what the hell does that even mean? That's the conversation we are going to be talking about in this second half of the show. And before we figure out what the red cards mean and we discuss teenage pregnancies, because this is it can be a very touchy subject, let's listen to Wilden by Maya Omolo.
One step falling, all I ever wanted. 2 shots deep in, rolling endless debate. 3 wishes, tipsy, telling me you miss me. 4 walls broken, flooding gates are open. I thought that you were selling me dreams, but I'm okay with the sleeping. Things that I needed. The way that we be moving and coasting, love and emotion, stuck in the moment. It's you that I'm holding. Baby, don't let go. Don't let go. You can take me out to space. Oh, we're wiping. The levels peaking over 100,000. Sweetest little taste. Visions cloudy, but that's okay, we're cool. As long as I have you. 5 times, call me. Your spirit is shining. 6 stars align, all in perfect timing. 7 days a week, started getting dizzy. Ain't that, yes please, you the silver lining. I thought that you were selling me dreams, but I'm okay with the sleeping. Things that I needed. The way that we be moving and coasting, love and emotion, stuck in the moment. It's you that I'm holding. Baby, don't let go. Baby, don't let go. You can take me out to space. Oh, we're wildin'. The levels peaking over 100,000. Sweetest little tastes. Visions cloudy, but that's okay, we're cool. As long as I have you. It was just you and I, yeah, on the coldest night.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
The Kenyan girlies are really, really doing the thing when it comes to this R&B thing, Bana. Like, I feel like we're getting such dope music, like Lover Girl music, villain era music. I'm really loving what the girlies are putting out there, and Mimi, I'm always here to support. You are listening to She Talks on Power Radio. My name is Muthoni Getao, and today we're going to have a discussion about teen pregnancies, and not just that. we're going to have a discussion about the red cards. And again, I know you're asking yourself, what do red cards have to do with teen pregnancies in the country? I'm going to tell you. The Kenyan Human Rights Commission gave 20 governors red cards because they are not pulling their socks up, or they're not doing what is needed to do to curb the high rates of teenage pregnancies within their counties. And some of those counties actually include Nairobi, where we are at right now, Kakamega, Bungoma, Nakuru, and Kiambu as well. They are the top ones. I also know that Taita Taveta is somewhere in there as well, because I know that they have some of the highest rates of teenage pregnancies in the country. And they were given red cards, and I was wondering, what the hell do you mean you've given governors red cards? What does this mean? So, as someone who does not watch football or doesn't engage in football, I had to go do my research, because that's what you do when you don't know stuff. And I had to find out, what does a red card really mean? And according to Google, a red card is handed to players for various reasons that include serious foul play, violent conduct, spitting, and many more. And then down here, it also says, I was also curious, okay, cool, so I still don't get it. You're given a red card, and then what happens? So basically, the consequence of getting a red card is that it carries a 2-minute suspension for the team. And I was like, okay, I see the context of a red card in a football game. But how does this translate to what Kenya Human Rights Commission did? How does that translate? Like, are you telling the governors to take a seat for 2 minutes, or what exactly does it translate to? Because you can go online or go on do a whole press conference where you're like, we're giving these people a red card. Good for you. And then, now that they've received their red cards, what exactly does that mean? And as someone who honestly it's like the player is sent off. So are you sending off? I don't get it, because the idea is when you get a red card, you're dismissed. So when we dismiss them, then what happens now? Because in this case, the complaint is that we have very high rates of teenage pregnancies in these particular counties. And we are going to talk about the specifics in a bit, and also the other things that they touched on away from that. But they've launched a whole campaign that is now called Red Card Kwa Grao. And I'm trying to understand, okay, but what is the aim? What are you hoping to achieve with this? Because if you are serving the red cards to these governors, right? But then you're also the ones hosting events, and you are having spaces online where you're having discussions about this red card thing and this whole red card Kwa Grao thing. I'm curious. Yeah, we're talking about it, but how does this translate? What are the actions? Did you give them the red card and also say, okay, and also this is what's expected of you? Did you say, we're giving you a red card, or we're putting you on notice, and in the next 6 months, we expect to see this and that? Or did you just go red card, you guys are not doing enough, you're not doing enough, and then what? That's the part that I don't understand, because I know sometimes we have good intentions. And one thing I always I tell people when they tell me, oh, I didn't intend to hurt you, I didn't intend to do this, I'm like, yeah, your intentions mean nothing if your actions don't match up. You can intend for the best of things, but your actions don't match your intentions. So I'm like, okay, cool, you call them out. And then now you're doing the actions that you're doing is you're holding talks online, you're holding Twitter spaces or X spaces, and you're discussing teen pregnancies and how they're taking a toll on the lives of young girls. How are we working this backwards? Are we going back to the source? What is the biggest source? What is the biggest reason that leads to these young girls becoming pregnant? We're going to touch on that when we come back. For now, listen to Come To by Tabi.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
This is Hendrik Sam.
Misikatai, unanidai, akiwalahi, ninaogopa sitadinai. I want you to lie, ni vile I'm trying to find good love, baby, baby. I'll be the one for you. Baby, maybe I'll be the one for you. I'll be the one for you. I'll be the one for you. You take your love away. Take your love away. Don't you take your love away. I'll be the one for you. Don't you take your love away. Take your love away. Don't you take your love away. I'll be the one for you. The one for you. Mpenzi utangoja, yeah. Mpenzi utangoja, yeah, yeah. Sitaki we uchoke, yeah. Sitaki we uchoke, yeah. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. If you wait for me, I don't need nobody else. I'm trying to find good love, baby, maybe, and I'll be the one for you. Baby, maybe I'll be the one for you. I'll be the one for you. I'll be the one for you. You take your love away. Take your love away. Don't you take your love away. I'll be the one for you. Don't you take your love away. Take your love away. Don't you take your love away. I'll be the one for you.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Na 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 na, yeah, 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 yeah. Been such a long time since I ever. It don't matter how long it gon' take, no. You got me feeling some type of way. Baby, come closer, rewind and play. I'm gonna fight bitches for you. My God, I'm addicted to you. Feel the pressure, I tell you, come through. Baby, come through. Feel the pressure, I tell you, it's you. Baby, come through. Shut the door now. Baby, come let me kiss you all over, yeah. Shut the door now. You should know I'm the one in control, yeah, yeah. Shut the door now. Baby, come let me give you some love, yeah. Shut the door now. Shut the door now. Missing you on a daily. Sometimes it got me crazy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't know what got me crazy. Feel like I'm going crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Feel the pressure, I tell you, come through. Baby, come through. Feel the pressure, I tell you, it's you. Baby, come through. Shut the door now. Baby, come let me kiss you all over, yeah. Shut the door now. You should know I'm the one in control, yeah, yeah. Shut the door now. Baby, come let me give you some love, yeah. Shut the door now. pressure. I tell you, come through, baby, come to. Feel the pressure. I tell you, it's you, baby, come to. Shut the door now, baby, come let me kiss you all over, yeah. Shut the door now, you should know I'm the one in control, yeah, yeah. Shut the door now, baby, come let me give you some loving, yeah. Shut the door now, shut the door now.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Come To by Tabi. And before that, you were listening to One For You by Fee, one of my favorite female artists from this country. Actually, scratch that. One of my favorite artists from this country. We are having a conversation about teenage pregnancies and red cards. And the reason I wanted to talk about this red card thing is because I've noticed that the Kenya Human Rights Commission has launched a whole campaign that is dubbed Red Card Kwagrao. And I just wanted to understand how this campaign is going to actually address the issue of teenage pregnancies, because teenage pregnancies in this country, they've become, the statistics are not good. We are not looking good. And I think the problem is we are trying to tackle it from the top down instead of from the other way around, where the first question is, what is the leading cause of teenage pregnancies in this country? The answer to that is very simple: poverty. Most of the teenage pregnancy stats that are recorded in low income areas, and most, like, it's quite saddening when you hear the stories of how young girls are having sex to get free pads. Like, pads are things that they need every month. So poverty is the leading cause. And what are we doing? Because I think we should pay attention to where it starts from and start mitigating it from there, as opposed to, oh my God, we have so many pregnant young girls. How do we solve this? And then you just start by shaming them, making them drop out of school. Because I remember there's someone who, and I'll be very specific, there was a man who was saying that teenage girls should not be allowed back in school. If a girl drops out of school because of teenage pregnancy, that they shouldn't be allowed back in school. And I was like, what do you mean they shouldn't be allowed back in school? Make it make sense. Like, do you even understand where this is starting from? Because I think sometimes this goes back to that conversation about privilege. When people are when people are analyzing a situation from a privileged position, you are assuming these girls are becoming pregnant because they're just out here experimenting and having fun with sex. No. These young girls are having sex to put food on the table. There was a play I watched last year that was done by Back to Basics. Shout out to Mbeki Mwalimu for putting this together. And it was called Market Price. And the premise of the play was literally how young girls in low income areas how they learn, one, about sex, and two, how they end up becoming ending up in sex work or end up becoming pregnant at a young age, and how they even start engaging in sexual activities at a very, very young age. And it followed the story of this young girl who would watch the mom, who was also a very young woman, engage in sexual activities just to get 20 bob to buy skooma. And so it gets to a point where she has a conversation with her mom, and her mom is like, hey, at this point, man, you have to fend for yourself, right? Because when you start looking at, so the mom ends up getting sick, she's deep in alcoholism. It touched on a lot of different things. And the thing that touched me the most about this play was that it was based off real life stories. It was not just that someone sat down. It was actually written by Saumu, and she's an amazing, amazing writer. And it wasn't just touching on, it wasn't a fictitious story. No, they went to Korogosho and spoke to so many women, and even they were shocked because they were like, what do you mean people have to engage in sex to be able to afford pads? What do you mean someone has to engage with in sexual activities to be able to buy skooma worth even 20 shillings? And that was the thing. I think the thing that stood out to me was the fact that the recurring amount was 20 shillings. It was most like the most you'll get. It's like you're getting a 20 bob here, a 50 bob here. And I'm like, to put together a full meal and put it on the table, how many people will you have to get those 20 bobs from? And how many things will you have to do to get that 20 bob from? So the first thing we need to address is poverty. And these girls are in school. If they don't have access to things like pads, I honestly believe pads should be freely given. The same way we have condom dispensers at like different healthcare facilities, chief's office, like in the randomest of places. The same way we have those dispensers, we should have pad dispensers in schools, in healthcare facilities, in the chief's camp if you have to do the chief's camp, in those toilets, in the slum areas, in the low income areas, we have those like Kanjo toilets. Have free pads there, because a pad can save a girl from becoming pregnant. And one of the biggest issues I usually have whenever people are talking about teenage pregnancies is that we always forget that the perpetrators are not teenage boys. The people responsible for these pregnancies are not teenage boys. And that's why I always feel like even in the language we use and when we're having these conversations, we sort of miss the mark, because it's made to sound like these girls are just out here gallivanting, trying out things, and then oopsie. And that's not the case. 90% of the time, that's not the case. Most of the time, it's someone looking for something as small as, I have honestly not eaten this entire week and I need food. It is a girl who is being coerced by a teacher and being promised, oh, I am going to, and we talked about this on Monday, about the sexual abuse that's happening in schools. It comes with those promises. So forget now in boarding school, now we're talking at home. You're like, I really want to be in class. And this teacher goes like, yeah, but you haven't paid for this. But if you do me this favor, if you come to my house at this time, I'll make sure that no one asks you for this and that. I'll make sure that you pass your exams. I'll make sure that I buy you food. I'll make sure that I give you pads. If you provide these things, you start saving girls. You start saving young women, because we make it sound like it's two teenagers just playing around, and that's not the case. We need to also bring these people to book. Can we shame them? These teachers, when we're talking on Monday in the papers, they said it was around 73 teachers who were let go in 2023 because of being sexual perpetrators. They were sexual harassers. I'm like, they're pedophiles. That's what they are. Let's just use the word. Because these kids are minors. They're children. Can we shame these people? We can let's not just have like numbers and we don't, because whenever it's the young girls, we shame these young girls and we say, this one was out here. Nah. We shame them. Shame those adults, because in these situations, they are the adults. Can we put the blame, can we put the weight of the matter on the adults and not on the victims? Because these young girls are being victimized. And that's the problem. The problem is that these young girls are victims, but we're treating them like they are the cause of the problem. And that's not the case. You are listening to She Talks. My name is Muthoni Gitao. This is Power Radio. Share your thoughts. You can find us on X or Twitter, if you're old school like myself, at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. You can use the hashtag She Talks on Power Radio. And let's listen to OTD by, I don't know, are we supposed to pronounce her name Njeri or Njerai? You tell me.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
It's been a long time, Nikama. You're moving on fine, Ataka. Well, could you home sometime? We sip some wine, and if it's fine, after I'll make you sing a love song. I promise you will sing it with me all night long. I know you know, I feel away. I wanna say, baby,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I think we have agreed that the name is Njerai. That's what we've agreed on. But if it is not, we would like to know how exactly it's supposed. We're just reading it the way it's written. We are having a conversation about red cards and teenage pregnancies and how the Kenya Human Rights Commission served red cards to governors whose counties seem to have very high rates of teenage pregnancies. And just before the break, we were talking about, can we put the blame exactly where it needs to be and stop putting the weight of this matter on just these young girls? Can we solve the problems that they're trying to solve that end up leading them to these teenage pregnancies and to falling into these traps of these men and looking for, like you're looking for solutions in the wrong places, but those are the only places where solutions are being offered. Can we offer the solutions to their problems? That way they don't seek the solutions in the wrong places. I found an article from late last year where journalists were being urged to lead in the fight against teenage pregnancies. And again, I still think we are trying to go at this the wrong way. Because according to this article, they were being asked to offer or to bring about change, especially on sexual and reproductive health rights. And the thing with this is like you're asking people, or like, for instance, it was like journalists are mediators, educators, monitors from a watchdog perspective, and advocates. They owe it to the public to report on sexual and reproductive health rights, not only accurately, but to also offer solutions. And I think, again, we're shifting the focus in the wrong places. We're shifting focus in the wrong places. We're shifting the focus to the wrong places. Because by the time these journalists are reporting, it is after the fact. It has already happened. So they are reporting on a matter that has already happened. I remember a conversation where people were talking about needing to introduce these young girls to contraceptives. And again, I feel like we are attacking the problem from the wrong direction, because you're saying, yeah, go ahead and keep seeking solutions, but at least now don't get pregnant. But you see, the problem is these young girls are surrounded by predators. How do we eliminate the predators? How do we get rid of these people? How do we make sure that these young girls have access to pads? That way they don't need to go ask for help from the predators. How do we make sure that these kids have food? Because when you are young, you always look at adults as the people who have the solutions to your problems. So when you walk up to an adult and you say, hey, this is my problem, this is the thing I'm going through, and I don't know what to do. And they're like, okay, I'm going to help you. You need to come by my house at 8 p.m., at 6 p.m., after school. This is someone you've entrusted with your problem. You're a child. So even when you're going, you don't know what to expect. You're thinking, labda ntaenda, I'm given the pads. Maybe they'll go do some shopping. I go home with... That's what maybe you're hoping for. And then you come and they say, yeah, I'll give you the money for the pads. I'll give you the money for the food, but I want something in return. And you become the payment. So you're raising these young girls to learn, or growing up knowing that they themselves are the price that needs to be paid for them to have access to even like a hint of a better life, that they are the cost for that. That's what we are teaching these young girls. That's what we are saying. So even when we start these campaigns and we're like, yeah, let's talk about it, who are you having these conversations with? Are you involving those young girls? Are you listening to what their problems are? Or are we just doing that helicopter thing where we come and say, we know all the solutions. We will come. And then you remove those very young girls from those particular conversations. You eliminate their voices because you're like, yeah, we are going to incorporate this one out. We are going, because even like with this red card thing, I still don't understand what the point is, because now it's been turned into a whole campaign. You have all these speakers, they come, they speak, and then what are they speaking about? Because you're like, oh, we're talking about the fact that teenage pregnancies are taking a toll on the lives of young girls. Yes, of course they are. These girls don't want to be pregnant. It's a situation they find themselves in. It's not something they go looking for. It's not something they're like, oh, I wish I could become pregnant tomorrow. No, that's not how they're living their lives. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to have a period. I don't have pads. I don't have food. Solve those issues first. And then also make sure that the people who surround these girls, the teachers that they work with, the institutions that they go to seek help, like in these low income areas, I know we have like government hospitals and such. Make sure that if a teenage girl comes there and they're like, hey, this is what's happening to me. If a teenage girl is showing up and asking for contraceptives, you should ask questions. Because why does she need contraceptives? You don't just go like, kumbe, you're taking care of yourself. Good girl, here you go. We've had stories where these girls, when you come, they're being assaulted by the adults they live in the same house with. It's not a stranger out there. It's not the teacher. It's not the neighbor. It's my mom's boyfriend. It's my mom's husband. They live in the same houses as these people. And we've also had instances where after maybe they go report to their moms and they tell their moms, hey, your boyfriend is doing this and this. The moms end up being like, oh, you're the one trying to seduce my mans, da-da-da. We can't compete for the same man. Or there's even parents, there's moms who go like, oh, if it's you he wants, because he's going to keep providing for us, please just do what he wants so that he keeps providing. And now you're being served up yet again. You're the cost. Your body is the cost. That young girl is the cost. So what is the point of all these campaigns if we're not addressing the issue on ground? Because you're even like, if you're having these conversations, you're having them on X. How many of these girls have access to platforms like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok? How many of them have access to these platforms? I think sometimes we try to fight these things and we just go about it the wrong way, because we focus on the end versus from the beginning. You're trying to mitigate the end result without addressing where it starts from. You should go back to where it starts from. You should go back to, okay, these young girls, go look at the schools. How many schools have so many of these cases? Because like these guys are like, oh, this county is okay, cool. Away from counties, let's go further down. County is like, that's the bigger whatever. Within these counties, which constituencies, if we still have constituencies, which wards, which locations, which schools, and how many students are we getting in these schools? And if we have a conversation with these young girls from this particular school, are they all pointing at the same guy? Let's work it from there. Instead of ati, oh, governor amepewa red card, afanyie red card umepewa, they'll just come do some, PR lip service, call a whole press conference and say, yeah, we're very saddened by the high rise of these numbers. We are going to do something about it. And then 3 months down the line, we have the same conversation again. And then the other time we'll have an uproar because some man will come and say, yeah, this girl should not be allowed back in school because why are you getting pregnant? It's like, it's total nonsense. Because you're looking at it from like from your high-rise buildings, and you're like, oh my God, too many girls with protruding tummies. We don't want to see that. But you don't go talk to these young girls and find out how you can actually help them on a personal level. Figure out what happened to begin with. Young girls are sleeping with older men for pads. We'll be right back. For now,
Power Radio. Tune in and power out.
Yeah, you ain't really know what you got to score. Tell me why you. Yeah. Tell me why you. Come on. Tell me why you did it. That's what she said. Tell me who you texting all this freaky stuff to while I lie alone cold in a bed. Cold alone in the bed. Tell me who is this that you wanna get with at the very first chance that you get. First chance that you get. You ain't really slick. Tell me who that bitch. You ain't worth shit. Nigga, I can tell that you hit. Is this what you call work? Is this what your family worth? Lil Bobby ain't 3 months old and you never in the city and you never really with me. All you really do is get thrown in the eve. Come home lit, you don't care about the kids. Your mama and your papa don't care if I live. Let things like too hard to forgive. Well, my friends all said, and now I know it's true. And I should have seen it. I ignored the proof. If I went back, Lord knows that I wouldn't choose. Cause I was like a trophy. Nowadays, all you do is play your silly games, and I'm the one to
You
lose.
don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no water? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby you gon' feel what it's like to lose. You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no water? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby you gon' feel how it feels to breathe with no air. 6 years ago, heavy for sure, we was always popping with the new things. You was so fly, you want my boo thing. Now you switching up on me, it don't look the same. How are we to ride if you ain't got no game? Most of the time, you're out to complain, then you ask why things ain't the same. Your hair ain't done, your nails ain't done. If I'm the one, then why don't you try harder, baby?
Try hard.
Feels like I ain't your lover lately. Baby, 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 baby.
You can't be serious, you can't be serious. You so delirious, you got me curious. When did it all turn around? When was the day that we drowned? You had me head first in the clouds. Now I'm falling head first to the ground.
You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no water? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby you gon' feel what it's like to lose. You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no water? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby you gon' feel how it feels to breathe with no air, no air, no air, no air, no air. Oh yeah, how it feels to breathe with no air, no air, no air, no air, no air. Oh darling, how it
From
feels to
sunrise
breathe
to
with no
sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Yeah.
Niggas gon' be niggas. Well, I suppose ring don't change what you really know.
Tell me what you know, tell me what you know.
Tell me what you know.
Tell me what you know, tell me what you know.
Tell me what you know. Niggas gon' be niggas. Well, I suppose if you wanna change what you know. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Your love
know I would follow you anywhere. Take a train, plane, car, I get, baby, and I'm gonna find you there. Cause you took my heart completely, captivate my mind. You read me, I've known nothing but sunny days since the day when you received me. God really knows how to make a situation turn around. May the sun rise high and I saw it, even with my face turned down. So many, many, many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, and I was fed up. But you made me keep my head up, and I just cannot deny how many times you see me try, and you still hold my hand and you teach me to fly. Boy, your love, it feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause your love, it feels like heaven, heaven, heaven. Ooh. Thought that I was at the end, but truth was I was just beginning. Thought that I had lost it all, but in the sense I had found something. I wouldn't trade for the universe. Do it all again, I hit it first. So few people ever make something last. They look for what they lust for, and it runs out so fast. Made a lot of mistakes, but you look past it all. Don't expect perfection from me, proud even when I fall. But so many, many, many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, but you were never. I guess your mama taught you better. No need to put me down so you can feel high. Cause together, my love, we can touch the sky. It feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, baby, your love, it feels like heaven, heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause so many, many, many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, and I was fed up. But you made me keep my head up, and I just cannot deny. Many times you see me try, and you still hold my hand, and you teach me to fly. But so many, many, many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, but you would never. Guess your mama taught you better. 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 'Cause baby, your love, it feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause your love feels like heaven, 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 heaven.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Sage with Heaven, Chemutai Sage with Heaven. And before that, you were listening to No Air by Ruby Nina. And just to mention, these two lovely ladies have a show that's coming up on the 23rd of March that is dubbed Songs in Harmony. It also features Muthaka and Fee. So in case you're interested, just, check them out on socials and maybe go support their work. They have such lovely, lovely voices and they write such beautiful music. We are finishing up on this teenage pregnancy conversation, and the thing that there's something I want to read for you that shows you just how we are attacking this issue from like very different angles instead of just tackling the problem from the ground. Taita Taveta County government used 4 million to remember, and that's in quotes, World War One. This country is on another level. Taita Taveta is among the poorest counties in Kenya and among those with the highest number of teen pregnancies where girls have sex for sanitary pads. Therein lies the problem. Why are you spending money to remember a war that you weren't even there for? Why are you spending 4 million? Can you imagine the number of pads 4 million shillings can supply in the county of Taita Taveta? And if each county, all these counties, the monies they use for all these two random things they do, because this money is a lot, use that money to tackle the issues that these young girls are going through, and you don't have to be given these red cards of yours, because also what are they for? Just allocate funds to solve the problem. We should have sanitary dispensers everywhere. I don't think women should be buying pads. If men can be given condoms for free everywhere, why not avail pads? Pads are for periods. Periods are not a choice. We don't choose. They just happen. Whether you like it or not, you get your period every month. Or for those ones who it doesn't come every month. It's not something you can avoid. Sex is something you choose. You choose to have sex, but condoms are provided freely, but not sanitary towels. I personally think that sanitary towels should be provided for free, especially in schools. Girls in schools should not have to seek refuge from their teachers, who are now taking advantage of the fact that they know the situation back home, and then they make you do things. And now here you are being shamed and being told not to go back to school because, oh, look at you, you teenage pregnant girl. And then we completely forget, because I think the focus should honestly be on these adults. Why are we focusing on the people who are victimized? Let's do better. And even if we're doing these campaigns, when we're talking, who are we talking to? Are you talking in a vacuum? Are you talking to people who are just like you, who are going to be like, yeah, that's so sad. Yeah, that's so bad. Yeah, we should do something. But then when it comes to action, when it comes to actually helping these young girls, no, you're not involved. Let's do better. I think we should definitely do better. Here is Properly by Femi One and Nyash, not Kenyanjui. Nyash.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Hello, kama we ni mwenyeji. We ni mwenyeji. Hello, kama we si mwenyeji. Mind your business. Kama unataka ule anaichapa mpaka ilale, basi harakisha njoona. Bima inanukia shasha mane, ustupe nini kwa flona. Super komudia ladha gane, gnezenda fast au slow. Baby, Eva nikisikia mabob malen, kitafta plan ya do. Yeah. Tuanzishi vita, tunamaliza. Nani ukinita, tuma mamita. Au malipsinka, wanawaingiza. Napanda stage, na una miujiza. Originator, baba wakeja. Wananiti, wananiiga. Likuwa nachoma mpaka kwa filter. Kabadoko ushago. Life iko order, bako kweli na sound unachocha.
Vile naifanya sio hoja.
Yeah.
Huku isi ni si tunazoza, tunaifanyaga proper. Properly tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga. Dai namba 2 wakanichuja daro, songa jenga shule wajua lipe karo. Saimi ndio speaker Frankole Kaparo, machutas napiga ki Usman Kamaru. Kwa fam ya kipang sikutoka, so fam ya kipang kitatoka kwa mimi. Amini ni jasho na damu zinatoka kiroga, hinjili na treat kama dini. Saima device inakuja na mzinga, wananidai na nijuzi waliringa. Mungu akisense unajua uwezi pinga, odds iko right misi chezi na tinga. Okay, kifemi kijembe kikali, bila budi na bidwa kubali. Pata jali ujwe nani ya kujali, hii maisha ni tamu na jes na makali.
Life iko order, bako kweli na sound unachocha.
Vile naifanya sio hoja.
Yeah.
Huku isi ni si tunazoza, tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga.
Yes, nani yako in the zone aje, na ana feel right at home aje, utajua nilikuwa kwa chuom aje, na harufu ya cologne sare, na sijaiko saka form sare, last year niliuza my phone sare, jana niliota na perform sare, na kabla kuota niliperform short now you know kwa cliff kabla ujue mambo ya drone granda imejaa na kif na grind nikana clone kiulizana nani gwiji hapa mimi nasikianga kama nakosa heshima. Mwezi ni pima, mwezi ni zima, na nimeingia nasikia wananiambia life iko order, bako kweli na sound unachocha.
Vile naifanya sio hoja.
Yeah.
Huku isi ni si tunazoza, tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga.
Life iko order, bako kweli na sound unachocha.
Vile naifanya sio hoja.
Yeah.
Huku isi ni si tunazoza, tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga properly tunaifanyaga.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Thank you for spending your time here today. Remember to follow us on social media at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. And you can find me at I am Muthoni Gitau on all social media platforms. See you back here for another show on Friday. And be sure to also check out Power Breakfast in the Morning on Friday from 8 a.m. Thank you so much and have yourself a lovely, lovely hump day. Here's This Time by Rogoro and Mbidi.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
It's that time of the year again. I wish it would never end. Making choices that we regret. I can't kiss it but die. And we are younger for short time. Older for long now. Now more down our soul. Down our soul, God. It's time tonight for you. Come on, it's time. Just wanna free up my mind. Just wanna get in the vibe. Ooh, I wanna feel alive. Tonight for you. Come on, it's time. Just wanna free up my mind. Just wanna get in the vibe. Ooh, wanna feel alive. Tuchome, nyama tuchome. Wapi bombe, shika kikombe. Get to gonge, tena tusonge. Huku tuna party all day.
Tukiosonga na tunywa nzovi. Come vibe if you're feeling lonely. Come on, go happy, don't be sorry. Epiko wapi leta mbogi. We believe in la vida loca right here. Moto ina waka so joto na pe. I wish ungesikia vile mimi nasikia. We believe in la vida loca right here. Kipopo lazima tukeshe. Yani lazima tucheze. Yani lazima iweze. Igenje kuja tutese. Kipopo lazima tukeshe. Yani lazima tucheze. Yani lazima iweze. Igenje kuja tutese.
Come on, it's time. Just wanna free up my mind. Just wanna get in the vibe. Ooh, I wanna feel alive. Tonight, Fanya, come on, it's time. Just wanna free up my mind. Just wanna get in the vibe. Ooh, I wanna feel alive.
Power Radio.